So before you decide if somebody's suitable for neurofeedback, you want to gather a thorough history and any other appropriate assessment. So, if they're struggling with depression, take the Beck depression or the GAD for anxiety. I always take an arousal assessment. The other thing that I do in an initial free consult is give a decent explanation of what neurofeedback is, how it works to change brain function, and also how that will have a positive effect on their presenting issues. I select suitable clients for neurofeedback based on a few criteria. The first being that their presenting complaint is one that is most effectively addressed by neurofeedback. For example, neurofeedback's operant conditioning learning. So if they have ADHD, we have a level 5 efficacy for ADHD. That's more than medications. PTSD, we're also successful with insomnia, most anxiety presentations, and mood disorders. The second is I want to investigate what they've already tried. And if they gave it a good effort without symptom resolution, that may tell me that, there's something going on in the way their brain functions that would make them appropriate for neurofeedback. The third is that this general lifestyle and health questionnaire that I give, I want to make sure that if they're not already living a healthy lifestyle, that that's something that they want to change and they're willing to work towards that. For example, if they have poor sleep, now that may be the reason they're coming for neurofeedback. So of course, I'm not going to say, well, you've got bad sleep habits, you can't do neurofeedback, but I must resolve those first because operant conditioning learning neurofeedback is based on can you stay alert and engage with the computer-brain interface, but also can you get good sleep at night? Because this is the way we put things into long-term or rote memory. So sleep is hugely important. I will talk more about that. The other thing that I'm going to question is what medications are you on? Psychoactive medications have an effect on the EEG. We can help people wean off of medications, but if they're on more than 3, I'm not even going to be able to figure out what's medication effect versus how their brain would normally function, because it's unethical for us to ask them to go off of medications. Now, what I will do is if they take their antidepressant in the morning or their Adderall in the morning, I may try to get the EEG before they take that medication to get as clean of an EEG as I can without that medication effect. But, if they're on other psychoactive medications, it takes weeks for the washout period, and I'm not going to ask people to go off of that. So I have to, figure that into my analysis. And the more medications they have, the harder that is to do. I live here in Colorado. So another thing that is on my questionnaire is, do you use THC? Because a lot of people under age 35, 40 use THC on a daily basis. And that does not play well with neurofeedback because we're building new neurons and THC degrades the neurons. There are so many different things. I could probably do a whole course just on THC use. But if they want to get off, we've been very successful helping people wean off of THC. But again, I can't fight a medication effect. Think about the brain as this 3 pounds of electrical chemical jello. And if they're putting a medication in, it's going to flavor the whole jello. And neurofeedback, we can work to change the way the brain fires. But if they keep overriding what I'm doing with medication or recreational drug use, we're not going to be successful. Now, the third criteria under the health and lifestyle is can they sit and learn? I've got lots of kids who are very fidgety. I can deal with that. We use wobble stools and all kinds of things to let people move and still be able to pay attention to the computer brain interface and get the feedback. But I've also had some clients, cerebral palsy and severe dementia, that literally cannot attend to what's on the screen. And so we may need another intervention before we try to do neurofeedback. The worst thing in the world is to tell somebody neurofeedback is going to work, but then they cannot attend to the screen. We might be able to do eyes closed, but it's pretty risky at that point. We've already talked about assessments. We want a thorough history. We want even birth history, symptom checklist, arousal assessment, and some kind of cognitive test. And this will help you as you move along because you can give these questionnaires and tests again and see another measure of improvement besides your EEG.